Hey, it's Doug Cunnington from Niche Site Project, and this is just a short video where I'm going to go over the off-page SEO audit checklist. So it's a pretty quick guide, and I'm displaying it here. Quick note, you should make a copy of this for yourself. I'm just sharing the Google Doc with you just to make it easy, and you'll have to make your own copy. You can't actually edit this one yourself since it's the master copy. So first off, I'll get straight to the punchline of this. And basically, if you're looking at this sheet, you probably are interested in how you're doing with your off-page SEO, and probably for a niche site, but not necessarily. And generally, if you're looking to improve your rankings and you're looking to improve your off-page SEO, generally you need more backlinks. So one way or another, you probably need more backlinks. Whether you need those backlinks to a specific page or another, that's something you'll have to take a look at. But I go into a very short but specific amount of detail here, where I say if you're trying to rank a specific page, then you generally probably need to get at least 15 links and then see how you're doing, right? So if you don't have 15 links or so, or maybe it's 20, right? So 15 or 20 backlinks, then you should keep working on getting backlinks. So with that said, just in general, most people need more backlinks. I need more backlinks for my sites. And let's take a quick look at the checklist. So first off, we take a look at the number of pages indexed in Google, just as a look to see if all the pages are indexed as they should be. And you also need to take a look at the number of pages that you actually have published. So hopefully those are pretty close to one another. If there's something really out of sync, then you should take a look at it. Sometimes people have their archive type pages, so their categories or their tag pages indexed in Google. That's not the best way to do things. So I like to have those no indexed. So just keep that in mind. Next, we keep it simple, right? So we're going to look at the two sort of most thorough backlink indexes that there are, and that's Majestic and Ahrefs. So we'll look at Ahrefs first, and we essentially look for the same information, as you can see, for each of them. But sometimes each of the backlink crawlers take a look at a different part of the internet. So it's kind of important to go take a look and make sure that you have a full picture of what's going on. Most likely the numbers are going to be pretty similar, and I'll tell you why we're looking at each one of these things, and then we'll take a quick peek over in each of the tools just for Niche Site Project, and you can get an idea of the kind of information that we're wanting to get. So first off, you look at the number of links in each of the tools. So obviously that gives you some sort of a picture of how many backlinks you have out there. I'm gonna get some coffee here. So more importantly, the next thing we're going to look at is referring domains. So to me, it's more important to look at these referring domains. And the reason why is, let's say there's a particular blog that republishes content on their archive pages. So for example, let's say you get a guest post on a blog, and then they have it republished in a few different URLs. So that one link in that guest post, for example, instead of having one link from that domain and having one link and one referring domain, you may have 15 links from one referring domain. But in reality, having that that link listed 15 times isn't super helpful. What you really want is more referring domains. So, another extreme example where it doesn't really provide much value or information is if you get, let's say you leave a blog comment on a highly relevant blog. And sure, it's no follow, but it's still a relevant blog, and maybe some people follow that link over to your site. The point being, sometimes blog comments end up being shown in many different URLs. Sometimes they're listed in the sidebar in a widget. So you may have one comment on one blog show up 300 times. So in that case, you would have 300 links showing, but only one referring domain. Hence, I'm more interested in referring domains. So to me, this is probably one of the more important metrics to look at. Next up is do follow links. So obviously do follow links are the ones that count. No follow links are, nice to have in a, full backlink profile for your site. So maybe you have some through blog comments, like I said, or maybe you're mentioned on a site, but for whatever reason they no follow it. I'm not sure why that would be. Maybe it was a sponsored post of some kind. But anyway, you look at the do follow links, and you want to have more do follow links just in general. Next is a quote reasonable distribution of anchor text in Ahrefs and Majestic respectively. We'll take a look at that in a second, but essentially you don't want to have the anchor text for your site to be listed as 35% exact match like keywords that you're trying to target. So we'll look in a second at mine, and you'll be able to see for Niche Site Project, it's very natural. I don't do any link building. I do some guest posting, but you'll see that it's very natural, and most of the links are actually from other people linking to my site because they chose to. And the last thing that I listed, it kind of gives you a baseline to go through this and then come back to it in the future after you've done link building, because then you can see the progress that you've made. So moving on to the last little section, just the Semrush data, and that's the number of ranking keywords in the top 100 in Semrush. So essentially that just gives you a picture of like how well your site's ranking in general. So nothing huge there, but after some amount of time, you would expect that number of keywords to go up. That's what you hope for. Okay, so let's take a quick look over at let's go to Ahrefs first. And we see here Niche Site Project is listed. The number of backlinks is 984, right? Okay, so that's just a number. And then the referring domains is 228. So obviously just a fraction of the referring domains a fraction of the backlinks are referring domains. And the thing is, that's a fine number, but it would be nice to have more referring domains. Now, the thing is, there may be, certain sites where there are legitimately multiple links. So you can't throw everything out, but it does give you a general idea. When you compare the two, it's like almost 4 times as many backlinks for that are listed here. So obviously the operating number that we're looking at is the referring domains. That's sort of what I find more valuable. Okay, next up is sort of the do. Okay, so we're looking at do follow referring domains. So that's 159. So that's good to know. And that's actually, to me, again, more valuable. So 159 of those referring domains are actually do follow. When we go to the more general backlinks, we see that about 64%, so 631 are do follow and 308 are no follow. So probably a lot of those are blog comments. I do like blog comments occasionally. Moving on, let's see, what is the next thing? So referring domains, do follow, no follow. All right, and then anchor text. So, and there's other nice information in here as well, but we'll get down here to the anchor phrases. So here we see Niche Site Project, so that's like the brandable domain. And nichesiteproject.com accounts for quite a large amount. Doug and Doug Cunnington, that's about 25% are actually probably blog comments, so that's fine. No text for about 5%, so those are probably images of some kind or maybe an infographic. And there are a few other brandable type keywords, so nothing really alarming. And this seems like a okay spread. I'm not specifically targeting like a product or anything like that, but you can see, this is one of the more popular pages on my site, and a lot of people link to it. So that's actually, it shows up as one of the anchor texts out there, and that's not really that surprising. Okay, and then anchor terms. So those are the specific one word terms. So that seems fine. Everything seems sort of normal. Now, when we go over to Majestic, I actually like the display that they have for the anchor text distribution a little bit better. And I'll tell you why once we get over there. So let's move over to Majestic, and we see, okay, so Niche Site Project, and then we have about 236 referring domains and 8,000 backlinks. So we can see the big, like enormous discrepancy. So external backlinks are listed as, over or almost 9,000, 10 times more than the 900 and whatever listed on Ahrefs. However, the referring domains are pretty close. They're like within a few dozen, I think. What was it over here? It was 228. So they're pretty close to one another. And as we scroll down, so no like really interesting data till we get to the anchor text. So first off, we see most of them are follow, and we could, I sort of assume that that ratio is about the same, even though the number is way off. So that seems good. And then the big thing is, we have like my name, so that's blog comments, and then basically brandable type keyword, or sorry, anchor text out here. And then the great part is most of it is other anchor text, and that indicates that people are probably linking to other specific pages and just a natural link profile. They're linking to a bunch of stuff probably, or at least are using different anchor text to get there, and that's almost 65% of the anchor text is other. So for my niche sites, I hope that it can be this sort of ratio, but a lot of times it's maybe like 50% is other, and that's pretty good, because when I first got started doing niche sites, it would be maybe like 15 or 20% of other, and then everything else was very rich, keyword rich type anchor text, and that's definitely less natural to have. So, okay, that pretty much concludes the breakdown of what we're looking at here. What you can do is, the pages that you want to rank on your site. You can take a look at your overall domain, right? So that's what we just did, our overall domain. But when you really want to dig in and figure out why a specific page is not ranking or post, then you can take a look at that specific URL, and then that'll really give you a good picture of, that page and how well it's doing. And probably what you're going to find is there's just not enough backlinks to that page. Hence, that's why I was mentioning before, generally you just need more backlinks, right? So you may think that you just get a guest post or two and you should be good, but it turns out you probably need more than you think, and it takes time to do that. So anyway, if you have questions, go to the post, or if you're watching this on the post, just leave a comment and I'll answer. If you are interested in, I guess, or want to contribute your ideas about what else could be in this off-page checklist, let me know. I'll consider adding it in here. But obviously, having it one page and keeping it simple is really good. Additionally, if you have any questions, just let me know in the comments. Thanks.